be seen as an attack on Russia itself.
In Kiev. Joining us now is Grigory Yavlinsky, who's an economist and former leader of the Russian opposition party, Yabloko. And I believe you have family still in Ukraine, Grigory. When you watch what's happening in these parts of Ukraine, what's your view? What's your thought?
I think it's a tragedy, and it have no real explanations, not from the political point of view, not from human point of view, whatever. So, and the main feeling is that we are only at the very beginning of the developments, which would be, from my point of view, very, very serious. And it is possible to turn into a terrible developments in Ukraine and in Russia.
What do you mean by development?
I mean that I'm expecting the escalation of the military conflict in Ukraine to the extent of the possibility of the nuclear confrontation.
Tell us how the annexation and these referendum votes that were held beforehand, how are they being reported to the Russian people inside Russia?
It's explained in a very strange way that the Russian people are living in Ukraine and they're dissatisfied with Ukrainian system, Ukrainian state, and Ukrainian power. The problem is that Russia have no opposition, newspapers, televisions, and the propaganda, the state propaganda, together with the fear coming from police measures, is very, very strong. And it's pressing very strongly the people. And that's why about a big number of people, more than half of people, are completely disorientated and they don't understand what's going on in reality.
How then can opposition parties or opposition figures register their concern, their anger, and frankly, their opposition to what Putin's doing?
Of course, you can easily understand that the opposition parties are in a very difficult situation. In fact, there is the only one opposition party today. In Russia, it's a democratic party, Yabloko. The problem is that in the situation of such enormous police pressure, when the number of people in the party are detained and arrested, the pressure is very, very high. Still, we were trying last month to make a kind of campaign against the war, but it was supported only in Moscow, for example, by 16% of the people, 1/6, I mean. So, and it shows that the people are really disorientated and the people are not prepared at the moment to confront the government on this very, very important issue.
We're hearing today that Finland is shutting its border with Russia to anyone who doesn't have a Schengen tourist visa. We've seen, of course, many people trying to leave Russia so they're not mobilised as part of this call-up of reservist soldiers. So surely that says that there is a latent or a quiet opposition to this because they don't want to be involved in the conflict.
Yes, it's a very, very contradicted situation because it's really millions of people are in the same time disappointed by what's going on, because even if to look the figures of official statistics, you'll see that more than 20% of Russians are against the Putin's policy. 20%, this means about, in Russian situation, more than 20 million people. So it's a big number, but the problem is to organize all these people, and this so-called mobilization is making a very big, very, very strong pressure on the people. and a lot of young, educated, energetic citizens are leaving the country. As you said it's true. But when I hear that some countries are closing their borders, it's difficult to understand how to react on that. So it's honestly saying it's on their side to take these decisions, but it's difficult to understand how it is be possible to live with 140 million people on the eastern part of Europe with the nuclear weapons, which are isolated from Europe.
Yeah. Grigory Yavlinsky, former leader of the Russian opposition party Yabloko, thank you for talking to us.
Thank you.